A conversation about education is enormously important, and the bottom line is we're having conversations about education all the time in the legislature and the administration, and that's one of the things that this conference tried to pull out. It was combining sort of the issues that have been brought up in the public by the Center for Michigan's community conversations and polling, and matching those with what are existing conversations with the governor's office, with the Office of Great Start, and it's been a really interesting conversation to try to ensure that what the public believes are solutions are actually being incorporated in what are existing conversations about improving education. The important pieces of the education conversation in Michigan right now to Michigan's children have to do with the fact that we really have been failing particular segments of our population with our education system, which was brought up time and time again in this conversation. So as we work to improve equity in educational outcomes for kids, which we need for our workforce, which we need for our future, we certainly have lots of research and evidence behind the things that are critical to do that. And we talked a lot about early childhood today. The importance of 0 to 5 is a critical piece. One thing that we talked a bit about today, but not as much as I think needs to be talked about, has to do with how do the systems work together to support kids and families in their educational success. So I think next steps from this conversation really do need to be how do we better bring in human services, community health, other sectors that are also critical to the success of kids and their education. I would say the most critical thing that needs to be changed in education right now is to stop seeing it as a K-12 structure and to start seeing it as a cradle-to-career structure. And to really start thinking about how do the different stages of kids' lives move into the next stage, how do the different buildings, school buildings, educational settings build on each other and move to really improve educational equity for everyone. That we have huge issues with high school dropout, needing to graduate more kids, needing to have more options for young people, and of course we need a more comprehensive early childhood system as well. The legislature, I think, will continue on the route that they're going in 2013. We had a hugely critical state senator in the first panel, Senator Khan, talking about what he's been talking about, which has to do with increased early childhood investment. The governor has suggested that there's going to be school finance changes. The legislature will be taking up some of those conversations. I think that this discussion assists the legislature in what is another thing that they need to do, which is to be responsive to their constituents. And so this public dialogue, this broader conversation about what the public feels is important in education is helpful to them, and we hope they'll be listening to the conversation.